This is Forge Daily with Mackenzie Barwell on the Forge Audio Network.
Forge fans, welcome back and happy Monday. Today is June 12th, 2023. I'm your host, Mackenzie Barwell, here to give you all things Forge FC. Another rainy day out on the pitch here at Tim Hortons Field this morning. The players are back out today after taking some much-needed rest following Saturday's matchup against Pacific FC. In today's episode, we will talk a little bit about what happened there and the changes to the CPL standings as a result of some recent outcomes. We'll also hear from Alex Achinioti-Jönsson and Coach Bobby Smirniotis from the post-match press conference and then from practice this morning. But before we get into that, a lot has changed since we spoke last on Friday. Some changes to the standings. Forge FC now tied in second place with 4 wins, 4 draws, and 2 losses. York United are climbing their way up the rankings, collecting their 5th win of the season in a 2-1 victory against Ottawa this weekend. That extra 3 points would tie them up with Forge. Both teams have now accumulated 16 points total thus far in the season. Now, at the top of the table, as much as it hurts me to say, with 9 total matches played and 18 points, Pacific FC are now leading the league. On Saturday, Forge FC falling short in their matchup, taking a 1-0 loss. A very defensively strong matchup on either side, pretty equal in terms of scoring opportunities as well. Forge with a couple of close chances right out the gate in the first 5 minutes. I saw this one set piece in particular, actually. I've seen them do it in practice, and they executed it perfectly, just unable to finish. Frustrations are definitely rising for Forge FC. This is not the first time we've seen them create opportunities without finishing. So here's what Coach Bobby and Alex Achinioti-Jönsson had to say about this ongoing theme over the past couple of matchups.
Yeah, I think up until about the 65th minute, the game was in control and what we were doing, and then for some reason after that, uncharacteristically, it became a game of transition. It became a game of transition. Then you're playing with chance and luck, and those two guys don't play on our team. Again, we've created a high-quality opportunity in the first 5 minutes of the game, and when you create those, you've got to take advantage of them. We've been doing it consistently, especially here at home. And it's a tough one, And then, the quality's dropped a little bit later in the second half. The way the goals gone in, obviously, those things happen. You hope that they don't happen more often, but it's part of the game.
I think it's the same story over and over again, where we switch off one situation and then we get hit on a counter, or not counter, but a long ball, and concede. And we're working very hard to create chances, but we're not putting them away. I don't think that really represents who we are, and I don't think that's why we lose the game today, just because of the unforced errors, but it's definitely something we want to fix. Like I mentioned before, they got on the ball a bit more and got some more energy. I think they got in a couple of subs that brought some good energy for them. And we got a bit disrupted with Ali's injury and had to shift things around, but I thought we started to work our way back into it, and then we had the very unfortunate goal. It's shit happens.
And for those of you who missed this weekend's game, the goal from Pacific was a fluke, to say the least. It was a miscommunication between Tristan Henry and Dom Samuel. Kind of gave Pacific an easy opportunity to score in Forge's box. And not ideal to have to rehash moments like that in the press conference shortly after. But I do think Coach Bobby did an excellent job at using some tennis terms to explain where he thought Forge's weaknesses have been and where their strengths typically lie in regular season matchups like this one.
Yeah, if you watch tennis, they call it unforced errors, right? So if a team is pressing you and you lose the ball, then it's done in a proper way. There was no pressure on the ball. So we turned the ball over. In the tennis terms, you cause a lot of unforced errors on yourself. It makes it easy for the game to swing a little bit. And I think that's what was happening. Uncharacteristically, we were giving up the ball a little bit too much. And, when you look at what we usually do to be good and where we move the ball, where we are, how many times we enter the opponent's final third, and a lot of different metrics, they just weren't good enough today. And that's why the game was even going into the last few minutes of the game.
You heard Alex's response earlier. I had to pull him aside this morning after practice to get his perspective. Knowing the unfortunate reality of the situation, I asked what it's like as a player to have to re-explain it at a press conference and whether those questions are hard to answer.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it was a question asked to the wrong person, because all I can say is, there's probably miscommunication. It's very unfortunate. Like, it happens on all levels to everyone. So. Yeah.
Well, it also came through in your response too, and I'll exclude the profanity, but you said stuff happens. From an athlete perspective, I need to know this because I'm sitting as a reporter at the press conference. What are some of the best and worst questions that you think you receive? I'm taking notes right now, just so you know.
I guess it's the nuanced questions that are like a bit about the game more than like what happened in that situation, because I think everyone that watched the game saw what happened. Like, sure, we lose 1-0 on a goal from that situation, but it's the game is being played over 90 minutes and there's a lot of stuff to improve in our game, so more questions that cover the whole game, so to say, than just certain incidents.
Yeah, okay, well, next press conference I need you to volunteer yourself so that I can ask you.
Yeah, for sure.
There you have it, the inside scoop on press conference questions from a player perspective. That'll wrap up this morning's episode. I will say a huge thank you to all the fans who came out on Saturday, especially those belonging to the LGBTQ plus community in celebration of Pride Month. We had a great turnout, and it was awesome to see everyone. So thank you so much for listening today, and I'll be back tomorrow with another episode of Forge Daily.
This has been Forge Daily with Mackenzie Barwell. If you like what you heard, please like, follow, subscribe, comment, and share.